What is going on, team? Welcome to another episode of the Thrive Forever Fit Show. I'm your host, Jay Nixon. And whether you're a first time listener or a long-time fan, I want to reiterate what the entire purpose and mission and passion of this show is. And it is all about disruption, inspiration, and transformation. My goal is to disrupt the way you currently think, inspire you to think differently, and give you the tools and the resources and the knowledge and the passion and the desire to transform into that person that you deserve to be, that hopefully you want to be, to live the life that is out there waiting for you, that life of abundance and awesomeness. And the only thing I ask of you is this: if I say anything on this show that resonates with you, that you love, that you think could help another human being, I just ask you to share the show. I ask you to tell people about it. The more people we can get listening to content of this magnitude, the better the world is going to be, the happier the world is going to be, the more abundant the world is going to be. And today's show is going to be no different. Today's show is all about winning versus losing. And I know we talk about success a lot on this show. We talk about mindset. We talk about a lot of personal development type issues. Today's show is going to be pivotal in your transformation, regardless of where you are in the process. Today, I want to talk about compounding consistency. Now, what I mean by that, and just an easier way to talk about that, is the margins between success and failure. We're going to talk about how small, how tiny the margin between winning and losing is today. Consistency compounds, guys, both ways, and it works aggressively both ways. See, most of the time when we think about the word consistency, we think about someone being consistent in a positive manner toward the goals and the outcomes that they desire for a better life. What we never take into consideration is the negative forms of consistency that, in all honesty, we're actually better at than the positive forms. Because negative consistency is, if you're not where you want to be in life, it is because of the negative compounding consistency that you've been implementing into your life. If you're in the right direction and you're going in the right way and you're doing the right things, then it's all about the positive consistencies. If you stop and pause for a second, you can see where both of those are either helping you win and or lose in your life. Now, this is going to be a little bit like your high school English class. I'm going to use some definitions today because I think it's important, and I think this will help magnify the level of importance that consistency really has, both positively and negatively in our lives. So consistency is simply defined as this: it's the steadfast adherence to the same principles. Now, again, we usually think of consistency in a positive way. Man, I need to be more consistent. The truth is, you're being consistent right now, whether you like it or don't like it, whether you know it or don't know it, whether you're winning or losing, you're being consistent. You are most likely being consistent with negative behaviors that are keeping you stuck, that are keeping you away from what it is that you want in life. Because here's the true statement: human beings aggressively follow routines and patterns. We are patternistic creatures. We will follow the same routine and patterns habitually over and over and over again. The problem with that is when that pattern or routine is negative, when that pattern or routine is taking us in the direction away from where it is that we want to go. I'm going to define routines for you. A routine is simply this: it is a regular, unwavering, habitual, unimaginative, or routine procedure, or an unwavering and consistently repeated formula as of speech or action. It's convenient and predictable. Can you see the problem? Can you also see the absolute awesomeness of that? If you can learn how to compound consistency in a positive way for long periods of time, you're going to win. But if you're not doing that and you're compounding consistency in routines and patterns in the wrong way, you're going to lose. This is where the danger of apathetic standards and tolerations can lead us to the downfall and the ultimate failures that we experience. Those of you that are stuck, those of you that aren't living the life that you wish you were living currently, whether that's with your weight loss, whether that's with your relationships, whether that's with your faith, whether that's with your money, it's because you're most likely apathetic with your standards and you're tolerating things in your life that you actually don't even want. And that's leading to your downfall. See, compounding negative consistency is what creates the challenges and adversities of our lives. Because if you're compounding positive consistencies, you look at challenges and adversities as opportunities, because you know as you move through those, it's going to give you answers that you didn't have before that you're going to be able to apply to your life in a positive fashion that are going to exponentially move you further down the road of positivity and success. The same thing goes in the negative capacity. If you're negatively compounding consistency, your routine standards and tolerations are habitually negative, what are you going to get? What are you getting? This is the simplicity of it all. This is a beautiful thing for us, guys, because it is a simplistic thing that is the differentiator between winning and losing. And once you get your head around that, once you grasp that, and once you understand that it's inside of the consistencies that create the outcomes that we get. And here's another truth. Positive, powerful consistency is what destroys roadblocks and turns adversities into opportunities. We all know people who are very positive and powerful, and their consistency seems to always be going in the right direction. And we will look at those people and we'll label them as lucky. We'll label them as fortunate. We'll label them as, oh, the good things just happen to those people. That's not true. What they've done is they've created so much momentum that when an adversity or a roadblock comes in their way, they absolutely just destroy it and run through it, because they understand that even if they get a little beat up, a little bruised, a little knocked down, that they're going to get an answer to a question that they didn't have before. And that's going to exponentially propel them to the next standard and awesomeness of life. See, what happens to people who are compounding negative consistency is when those roadblocks and adversities pop up in their way, and they pop up in everybody's way, their momentum is going in the opposite direction, and they don't have the force or the will to break through that roadblock, and they get stuck. And they get stuck, and they stay stuck. And that's how compounding negative consistency keeps them in a bad place. Now, I'm going to talk about two things really quick. I'm going to talk about certainty versus uncertainty, because the person who has positively powerful compounding consistency is usually a more certain individual. Those people who are stuck in a habitually negative routine, who are tolerating a life that they don't want to live, are usually the most uncertain people that we know. Now, I'm going to use definitions again. The definition of certainty is this: it is an assured fact. People who are certain are powerful. People who are certain are usually more positive. People who are certain live in the fact that they know what they want out of life, and they know they're not going to settle for anything less. Uncertainty is defined as this: the state of doubt, hesitancy. Those people who are stuck in negative compounding consistency are usually full of doubt. They're usually very hesitant. Let's think about momentum for a second. If you need enough momentum to go through an object, let's say you're going to run through a brick wall. Well, wouldn't be smart, but if you decided to do that, you would need an exorbitant amount of momentum to generate the force necessary to break through that wall. So a certain person would be assured that they could generate that momentum and they would blow through that obstacle or roadblock. The uncertain person, full of doubt, is going to hesitate, and they'll never be able to build the momentum necessary to overcome the challenge or adversity. Guys, hopefully this is blowing your face off. This is powerful information that if you use and apply to your life will be the game changer. Most people, here's a problematic thing with the uncertain person, with doubt and hesitancy. Most people use uncertainty as a self-imposed roadblock on the success highway. Hear what I said there. Most people make the decision to use uncertainty as a self-imposed, meaning you created it, roadblock on the highway to your success. And here's what they do. They claim that they don't know what they want. They don't know how to get what they want. Or they're so unsure of their own personal worth, their own personal self-value, they claim not to want anything at all. Have you met those people who they're ultimately uncertain? They're compounding negative behaviors. They're not living the life of abundance or awesomeness or anything that they want. They're not making the money they want. They don't have the relationships they want. They don't have the health that they want, but they'll tell you that they're perfectly fine. These are the people that use the phrases like "it is what it is." It is what it is, Jay. It's never "it is what it is." That's an excuse-laden statement that will keep you stuck for the rest of your life. So if you're using that, please do yourself a favor and get rid of that statement from your entire vocabulary. And anytime you hear it, you squash it with, "That's not true." I need you to start saying that to yourself. That is not true. It is not. It is what it is. You've got the ability and the power to change your life at any given moment. And you can use consistency to make that happen for you. You need more certainty in your life is what you need if you're feeling that way. So the truth is, all of those things I just mentioned are lies that we tell ourselves because they keep us in a perceived state of safety. If we don't try, we cannot fail, which is actually BS. If we don't try, we're already failing. So I want you to take a moment. I want you to imagine someone you know who is extremely certain. They know who they are, they know what they want, and they act as if their destiny to go after the successes of life is it's just what has to happen. They have zero regard for failure. When you talk to these people, they don't talk about the potential for failure because the truth is they know they're going to fail. They want to fail fast and they want to learn from those failures because in those failures are the questions and the answers that they need to go to the next level. Now, I want you to, for a second, imagine someone that is uncertain. They have no clue who they are. They don't know what they want. And there's no chance in hell that they're ever going to take a risk because they could and most likely will fail. The difference between a certain person and an uncertain person is this. The difference is a certain person knows they will fail, just like I said. They know they will fail and most likely fail often. This excites them because they understand that in failure, they will find the answers to the questions they need to unlock the next door of opportunity. I'm going to say that again for you so you can, that's an unbelievably uber powerful statement. Failure excites the certain person because they understand that in failure, they will find the answers to the questions they need to unlock the next door of opportunity. Holy shit. If you just stop right now and you start implementing that into your life, unbelievable game changer. You won't lose. There's no chance. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, the difference in these types of compounding consistencies is predicated on this: commitment versus complacency. Write that down. Commitment versus complacency. See, opportunity is found in action, not in apathy, right? It's inside of the actions that certain person is going to take those actions and they're going to find the opportunities. The uncertain person is going to hesitate because they're full of doubt. They're going to be filled with complacency and apathy. See, here's the definition. Commitment is this: the act of committing, pledging, or engaging oneself. A pledge or promise, an obligation, a dedication, or an allegiance. I mean, that just sounds kick-ass. That just sounds powerful. Here's the definition of complacency: a false sense of security that will often lead to potential danger or defect. A false sense of security. See, uncertain people will tell you this is where the it is what it is, right? That's the false sense of security. And this always makes me think of this. The phrase committed versus interested always comes to my mind when I think of the radical difference between these two types of people, these two differentiations in mindset: commitment versus complacency, committed versus interested. See, when you're committed in something, you will do whatever it takes. There'll be no exceptions. There'll be no excuses. You will only settle for results. If you're interested in something, you'll simply do what's convenient. So the difference is a committed person will do everything it takes. Everything. They're dedicated. It's their obligation. Listen to those words: a pledge, a promise, an obligation, a dedication. That's committed. A complacent, interested person will simply do what's convenient. And here's the problem for that. Most people, most complacent people, most uncertain people have a plan B. They have a contingency plan because they're willing to only do what's convenient. And when things get hard, they'll fall back on that contingency plan. And here's the problem with that. If you have a plan B, your plan A will fail. Because what will happen is roadblocks, adversities, challenges will be presented to you on your course. I don't care who you are. And if you're not certain, if you're not committed, if you haven't created that momentum, that certain momentum, that compounding consistency in a positive directions to blow through those roadblocks, adversities, and challenges and get those answers that you so need, then you will stop. And you will go to your contingency plan, your plan B, and it will be unfulfilling. It will be not what you wanted, right? And that's where many of us get stuck, is we consistently fall back to that plan B because we're consistently committed to compounding negative thoughts, words, beliefs, actions, the whole gamut. So here's the situation. Let me talk about this before I say that. The problem with that plan B is that you are psychologically wired to look for it. The human brain is psychologically wired to find the path of least resistance. And the brain will always believe that the plan B is the path of least resistance because the plan B is not in action. See, plan A is in action, and when there is action, there will always be resistance. And when that resistance pops up, your brain will automatically look for the path of least resistance. And in your mind, that will be your plan B. But it's only because your plan B hasn't been activated yet. And guess what? When you activate your plan B, it's going to have its own set of roadblocks, its own set of challenges, its own set of obstacles. And what's going to happen then? You're going to go to plan C, plan D, plan E. Some of you guys are on plan Z right now. And so what I want you to do is I want you to stop. I want you to stop the compounding negative consistency. And I want you to do that with simple, very simple things. I want you to get certain about your life. I want you to get certain about what you want. And then I want you to get committed about that certainty. And then I want you to take all of that commitment and all of that certainty, and I want you to put it into the plan A action of your life. And I want you to burn the bridges behind you. I want you to burn the boats. I want you to burn the bridges. And I want there to be nothing left behind you for you to go back for. No plan B, no way out. The only way is forward. The only way is through. The only way is for you to do what it is that you know you need to do, even when you don't want to do it. That's what's going to get you to that ultimate success in life. That's what's going to start compounding positive consistency. That, my friends, is the only way. So here's the truth. So if you plan on being wildly successful in living your dreams, living your desires, living the life of abundance, living the life of awesomeness, then you must enter the fight with no exit strategy. There must be no way out. The only way out is through. The only way is forward. The only thing you can do is create enough momentum so that anytime there's an obstacle, anytime there's an adversity that pops up in your way, you've created enough certainty, enough commitment, enough positive compounding consistency that you are able to blow through that roadblock and get the answers that are required for you to live the life that you must live, the life that you deserve to live. So you've got to get committed, guys. You've got to stop just being interested, because just being interested will be a waste of your time. It'll be a waste of your awesomeness. You deserve to live a committed, consistent, certain, positively powerful, compounding, consistent life. I promise you, it's freaking amazing. Once you start it, you'll never stop it. You'll never go in the other direction. So remember this, consistency compounds, and you've got to make sure that it's going in the right direction. How do you do that? You get certain, you get committed, and you start applying as much momentum in a positive direction to your life that you possibly can. You surround yourself with people that are doing the very, very same thing. You continue to disrupt the way you think. You continue to be inspired. You continue to transform. There is no end zone. The goalpost is consistently moving. You keep chasing that amazing life with reckless abandon, radically committed to your success, and you can't lose. Guys, my goal for you, the reason I wanted to do this podcast is that I want you to understand how consistency works and that it works both ways. And I want you to get an awareness about the level of consistency and the direction of consistency that you are headed in right now. And if it's not going in the right direction, I want you to hard stop. I want you to pull the emergency brake. I want you to get around the people. I want you to get the coach, the mentor, the team that you need to get yourself going in the right direction. If you're headed in that right direction, I want you to rip that rearview mirror off, and I want you to look out the windshield, and I want you to punch the gas. And I want you to keep moving in that direction with reckless abandon. Guys, life's a team sport. If you're not surrounding yourself with the right team, the right people that are moving you in the direction that you want to go, then maybe it's time to change teams. Maybe it's time to put yourself back on the market and get drafted by a new team. Maybe it's time to look for a new coach, look for a new mentor, look for a new circle of success that you need in order to get that consistency built in the right direction. So guys, if you heard something on today's show that was meaningful to you, that made an impact on your life, my only ask is this, that you share this episode with somebody that you think will find value in it. The second thing, I said the only thing I asked, my only other suggestion would be this. If you're not part of my Wellness Lab Launchpad, if you're not part of my coaching group, the Thrive Forever Fit program, if you're not one of my private coaching clients, make one of those decisions today. The Wellness Lab Launchpad is 100% free. The Thrive Forever Fit program is 100% affordable for every human out there. My one-on-one coaching is an opportunity that will take you to a level of abundance that you've probably never experienced before. I feel confident in saying that just based on the people that I've worked with, the thousands and thousands of clients that I've had and have. It will be the best decision you make in your life, guys, to get on the proper team so that you can start moving with reckless, radical energy and momentum in the right direction. All right. I love you. I'll see you next week. Have an amazing rest of your day.